So you're moving to San Francisco for the bridge, for the bay, for the energy, for the food, the views, the career, for all of it. Maybe it's the reason you picked this city over a dozen others. And your very first instinct is going to be to find a home as close to that postcard as you possibly can, right by the water, walking distance to the icon, downtown, near the office. Here's what the people who actually live here would tell you. It's usually the worst move you can make. The spot everyone reaches for when they move to San Francisco for the dream is almost never where a local would actually buy. I'm David Poulsen. I'm a fourth generation San Francisco Bay Area native, and my son makes it 5, and I've spent more than 30 years selling and developing real estate in the San Francisco Bay Area. In this video, I'm going to show you where people actually buy in San Francisco, why the most obvious homes are usually the trap, and how to pick the right neighborhood for the life you're moving here for. Not just the thing that's exciting you right now. Everyone makes the same first move. Let's start with the instinct, because everybody has it. You're moving here for San Francisco, the whole magic of the place. So it feels obvious. Get as close to the heart of it as you can. See the Golden Gate from the window. Walk to the famous street. Live 10 minutes from the headquarters you just got hired at. Build your whole life around the thing that pulled you here to San Francisco. I get it. I really do. But that instinct is doing something sneaky. It optimizes your entire home, the single biggest purchase of your life, around one thing, and it quietly ignores everything else that actually decides whether you like living somewhere. Your commute on a Tuesday, where you buy groceries, whether you can park, whether there's a single neighbor who'll still be there next year. And in San Francisco, the spots closest to the postcard are exactly where all of that, everything else, is at its worst. The priciest, the most crowded, the most tourist clogged, and built around the attraction instead of a life. Stick with me, because in a couple minutes, I'm going to give you the actual map of where San Franciscans buy. And I promise you, it is not where you'd guess. Why the homes, most obvious homes, are usually the worst to buy. Let me tell you what living right on top of iconic San Francisco actually looks like day to day. If you chase the waterfront and the tourist core, think the stretch near Fisherman's Wharf, the cable car corridor, the most photographed blocks, you get constant tourist traffic. Streets full of short-term vacation rentals, and instead of neighbors, sidewalks that aren't yours on a Saturday, and prices inflated by every single person who had the exact same idea you did. It's wonderful to visit. It's genuinely hard to live there. And if you chase the job, if you move here for tech and you buy downtown or in SoMa, you'll be close to the office. But here's the reality. You're ringed by parking structures and office towers. You pay a premium for that address. The neighborhood empties out at 6 and on weekends. And there is almost nowhere within walking distance to live an actual full life. You bought a commute, not a home. Now, none of that means that the bridge isn't worth it. None of it means the city isn't worth moving across the country for. It means that living on top of the attraction is a completely different decision than enjoying the attraction. And most people don't separate those two things until after they've already signed. Here's the line I come back to every single buyer I work with. Your move to San Francisco for the Golden Gate, the energy, and the dream. You live in San Francisco. For everything else, real quick, before we get into the math, I'm David Poulsen, top San Francisco realtor. My family has lived in the San Francisco Bay Area for over 4 generations. I personally spent over 30 years in real estate navigating this area's unique market cycles and sold hundreds of homes. Figuring out which neighborhood actually fits your life and your budget is the exact conversation I have with people moving to San Francisco every single week. Whether you're buying or selling, if you want to have the conversation, just call or text me at 415-735-6188. That's 415-735-6188. And DM me here on YouTube. Where people actually buy in San Francisco. So where do San Franciscans actually land? It tends to fall into a few rings, and which one is right for you depends entirely on who you are. Let me walk you through some of the ones I like best. The north and west side of the city, where I do a lot of work, the Marina and Cow Hollow, the sweet spot, and the hero of this whole video. This is where most people moving here should be looking. And they don't even know it exists yet. You're flat, actually walkable and bikeable, which is rare in this city. You've got Chestnut Street and Union Street with real restaurants, real coffee, real shops that locals use every day. You're minutes from the waterfront and bridge views without living in the tourist crush. You can be downtown in 15 or 20 minutes. It's social, it's alive, it's full of young professionals and couples putting down roots. The trade, you pay for the lifestyle, and the homes are tighter on space. But for the buyer who wants actually to live in San Francisco, this is the ring. Pacific Heights, the Prestige Ring. This is the postcard from the other direction. The views, the architecture, the quiet, established San Francisco neighborhood. It's for families and executives who want the address and the long-term hold and who have the budget to match. The trade is simple and honest. It's some of the most expensive real estate in the country, and you pay for every foot of that view. But it holds its value through every cycle. I've watched it do exactly that for 30 years. Russian Hill, charm and walkability without the crush. You're right next to the iconic stuff like cable cars. North Beach, the famous crooked street. You're tucked into a real residential pocket above it. Hyde Street, leafy blocks, that quintessential San Francisco feel. perfect for the buyers who wants character and walkability and doesn't need a yard. The trade is space and parking like most of the dense north side. The Inner Richmond, more homes for your money. This is the value play, and I love it for lots of different people. You give up a little, it's foggier out there, you're further down from the downtown core. In exchange, you get more square footage. You back right up to Golden Gate Park. You get Clement Street, which is one of the best, most underrated food corridors in the entire city. If your budget is real and your priority is space and a genuine neighborhood, this is where you can look. You trade 20 minutes of commute to get a home where you can actually grow into. And Seacliff, the wild card. This one's for a specific buyer, someone who wants to disappear into one of the most private, coastal, exclusive enclaves in San Francisco. Big lots, ocean air, Baker Beach, and Land's End at your doorstep, and a quiet that doesn't exist anywhere else in the city. It's rarefied, it's expensive, and it's perfect for the buyer who wants privacy and the coast over walkability and a scene. Now, here's the thing that matters. Homes in these neighborhoods can look almost identical online. Same photos, same finishes, same price band, but the lives attached to them are not the same at all. That gap is the whole job. It's the thing 30 years and a developer's eye lets me see that a listing photo never will. How to pick your zone? The framework. So how do you actually choose? 5 questions. 1, get the honest number. How often will you really be at the thing that's pulling you here? The office, the bridge, the scene. Buy for your real weekly pattern, not the highlight reel in your head. 2, match the area to who you actually are. A young professional, a growing family, a remote worker, an investor should all buy in different rings of this city. Decide which one you are before you decide on a house. 3, ask yourself, if the reason I'm moving here changed tomorrow, would I still want to live right here? Because the reasons change. A job relocates, a team goes remote. The thing you swore you'd do every day becomes twice a month. What doesn't change is that you still have to live there. 4, weigh the premium out loud. In San Francisco, proximity costs you real money or real square footage. Decide what that's worth to you before you're standing in a kitchen you've already fallen for. 5, think about getting out before you get in. Neighborhoods packed with rentals and second homes are hard to resell. Neighborhoods with steady year-round demand hold their value through every cycle. And now I've watched San Francisco run through several. Buy where the next buyer will also want to live. There's one question that cuts through every bit of this. So before you fall in love with the home right on top of the thing that brought you here, ask yourself, how many days a year will I really be there? And is living right next to it worth the other 364 days? The happiest buyers I've ever worked with answered that honestly before they wrote a single offer. The ones who ended up with regret bought the view and forgot they had to live the rest of their time there. Moving to San Francisco for everything that's wonderful about it, the bridge, the bay, the energy, the food, the chance, that is a great reason to come. I'm a fourth generation San Francisco Bay Area native, and I still pick this city every time. Just don't let the postcard pick your house for you. Figure out how you're actually going to live here. Match the neighborhood to that, and let San Francisco be the thing you enjoy, not the thing you're stuck next to. And if you want to help finding the zone that fits your life and your budget, reach out directly. I'm David Poulsen, top San Francisco realtor. My family has lived in the San Francisco Bay Area for over 4 generations. I personally spent over 30 years in real estate, navigating this area's unique market cycles and sold hundreds of homes. Call or text me at 415-735-6188. That's 415-735-6188. Or email me at david@sfhothomes.com. That's david@sfhothomes.com. This is the exact conversation I have with people moving to San Francisco every single day. And if you want to know what neighborhood your actual budget can buy in San Francisco, this video's right here. I'm David Poulsen, fourth generation San Franciscan, giving you the straight scoop on San Francisco real estate. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. Like and subscribe. And remember, I always give you the straight scoop on San Francisco real estate. Goodbye, everyone. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.